guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and let's get right into it. So first and foremost, guys, what I want to talk about is the controversy. There's always some controversy, it seems, with the most recent matchups between the Bengals and the Steelers. You think back to last year's playoff game. Obviously, there was controversy there. Not just the Antonio Brown hit, not just the Joey Porter incident, but also the fumble. When Ryan Shazier hit the running back. I forgot which guy it was, but some people said it may have been helmet to helmet and it wasn't called, etc., etc. So there's always some controversy. So let's talk about the fumble in this game. The fumble that just happened here in this game here on Sunday. Guys, I'm going to say it like this. To my naked eye, I probably would have felt like the guy was down. I think Boyd was down. When James Harrison came in and hit him over the top, I think his knee probably did touch down. But here's the key thing. This is the thing we always have to remember. Whether we agree or disagree with the referees, that's an opinion. But we have to remember that with situations like that, the key thing to remember is what was called on the field. It was called a fumble, number one. Number two, when you go under the hood, it has to be conclusive evidence that you can't, dispute or what have you. It has to be clear cut to overturn the call. Now, when you looked at the replay, you couldn't see the ball. You could see Boyd's knee go down. Definitely could see that, but you could not necessarily see when the ball came out. You just saw it come out, but every angle that they showed, James Harrison was kind of, shielding the ball, so to speak, so you couldn't see it. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It happens. That's happened against us as well. So it's like, I see so many people saying, the Steelers in the ref's pocket. And, man, listen, I don't always agree with the referees. And I can definitely understand that gripe. But at the end of the day, based on the rule, you couldn't overturn that call because it was called a fumble. And there wasn't clear evidence that the ball was still in possession before he dropped it. Because you look at the replay, James Harrison just so happened to be in a position where it shielded the ball. So there it is. I'll address that. Now, outside of that, guys, let's just talk about the game. It was a win. It's not a whole lot for me to talk about in terms of negatives. I think a lot of guys showed up in that game. Concerns, of course, the interceptions. I'm not liking the way Ben is starting off the season. That's already, if I'm not mistaken, that's 4 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. I think he threw a couple against the Redskins, if I remember correctly. But I don't like seeing the interceptions. Maybe he only threw 1. I don't remember against the Redskins. Already seems like that week was a blur. But he threw 2 in this game. Now, one of them, you might could have put it on Sammy Coates. It looks like, perhaps that Sammy was running the route a little lackadaisical. Maybe he didn't know that the ball was coming to him. It is what it is. The other one, the first one, I think it was when he was throwing to Antonio Brown. Maybe the ball that got away from him or what have you. It was wet out there. The conditions wasn't ideal. It happens, but I'm still just not liking it. I'm not liking the interceptions, man. I hope this is not a trend. At least he is throwing more touchdowns than he's throwing interceptions. But even still, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Like I said, I hope this is not a trend. But outside of that, the only other area of concern, a slight concern, not a huge concern, but the middle of the field on defense. We still seem to be giving up too much in the middle of the field. And I don't know, exactly whose responsibility it is. I don't know if it's some plays where the linebacker's not getting there, zone coverage, I understand that. But 2 plays in particular that I remember. I remember one time it was like 1st and 25, and they get a first down, like a 29-yard gain right down the middle. Sean Davis' responsibility, he had the responsibility of the slot man at that point. And, he got beat. And he's a rookie. With a rookie, you're going to take some lumps, you're going to take some bumps and bruises and some learning pains and things like that, so I understand it. The next time they had a deep pass across the middle, it was when William Gay was in the slot. Now, he's a veteran. So you see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you're supposed to cover everybody every time. I understand they are professionals too, your opponent, so they're going to get some wins. But it seems like that's still the weak spot in that defense. Now, outside of that, man, on the outside, it looks like we're playing pretty decent ball, man. I mean, you got to think. We held A.J. Green, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had, 2 catches or so for like 30 yards, 38 yards, whatever. It was nothing, nowhere close to 50 yards. I know that much. So we held him in check. At the same time, Antonio Brown was pretty much held in check. But, we do got to consider the weather and things like that. But, I will say, Ross Cockrell did a pretty good job in that game, showing up. Looked pretty good. I got to say also, Artie Burns showed up in that game. Looked pretty good, guys. I mean, it was one play down in the end zone. He knocks the ball away, saves a touchdown, forces them to kick the field goal. That's what I'm talking about. It's great to see the young boy out there playing already and making plays. This is what I'm liking. I'm liking, man. It looks like we got a young nucleus of guys in the secondary that's coming together. They played fairly well, pretty solid in this game, all things considered. Robert Golden is looking good back there in safety. And like I said, Sean Davis is looking good as well when he plays. Both him and Artie Burns are going to take some lumps. They're rookies. We got to understand that. But these guys are making plays. So it was great to see Artie Burns. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like that was a cover 3 defense that we were running at that time. And, he played it very well. Turned it into a man coverage. Got deep. Swatted the ball away. They got to kick a field goal. Love to see stuff like that. Ryan Shazier again, guys. You know how I feel about Shazier. If this guy stays healthy, I'm telling you, he's going to be one of the best middle linebackers in the game. This dude, his speed and now his anticipation is catching up. He's going to be a problem. He showed up pretty well in the game. I'm trying to think of who else made an impact. We didn't get any sacks. And that's pretty much 2 weeks in a row that we're not really getting to the quarterback. It's odd, though, because we are getting some pressure, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, we're getting around the edge. We're making quarterbacks step up in the pocket. Sometimes we're pushing the pocket and making the quarterbacks go outside of the pocket. And then there were some plays even in that game where Dalton had to go outside of the pocket, couldn't really get it downfield, had to check it down. We get him off the field on 3rd down. So it's good to see that. But I want some sacks to start showing up. I'm seeing Chickalo. Chickalo is definitely looking like the guy that eventually I think sacks are going to come because he's getting good pressure around the outside. He just has to learn how to, again, I said this last week, he has to learn how to, kind of change his angle a little bit so maybe he can get closer to the, to the quarterback. Because right now he's getting pushed to the outside. The tackle is pretty much doing his job, even though the fact that he's getting around the edge, he's making the quarterback step up. So maybe the guys in the middle can help out. But outside of that, man, I don't think anyone had a bad game. Again, we did pretty good containing the run. So the defense is looking a lot better. Guys are not scoring a lot of touchdowns on us. We forced a lot of field goals. It's a little resembling last year as far as bend but don't break. You know what I mean? Looks like we're getting a few more stops this year, though, so far. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. It's early. It's week 2. So seeing how these guys are playing right now makes me feel very, very comfortable. I'm gonna put a quote on that. I'm comfortable now in terms of what it looks like they can be as the season progresses. But we'll see. The jury is still out on that. But I think these guys are coming around. We played, Cincinnati now, big time win, divisional opponent. That was huge for us. And with some weapons, held A.J. Green in check again. I know the weather had a factor in that, but still. And, last week with the Redskins, they had weapons all over the field, and we're doing pretty well. So we got the Eagles coming up, and we'll see how that shakes out. Hopefully we can get that win, but I'm just happy that we're starting off 2-0. It's been a while since we've done that. So it's absolutely great to see that. Outside of that, guys, I'm trying to think if there's anything else important. D'Angelo Williams, come on. D'Angelo Williams does what he does. Big Ben continues to do what he does. Another Houdini trick where he gets out of the pocket and makes guys miss, throws the bomb downfield. Sammy Coates catches it. Sammy Coates had a nice game, man. He had some moments where you're kind of like, okay, you got to do a little more. But he had 2 big-time catches again. So what's interesting is I'm seeing that Sammy Coates is becoming a guy that they're trusting to go to or they have faith in going deep. So that's interesting. We'll keep an eye on that as the season progresses. But I think Sammy's going to come around. He's playing fairly decent. Like I said, man, D'Angelo Williams, this guy, he's given us what he's been giving us since he's been there. You know, great job in the receptions, like that one play where he makes the guy miss and he goes for the first down. Just huge plays across the board from him. Nice runs. Looking pretty good. Jesse James, I'm still liking what I'm seeing from him. Nice touchdown to Jesse James down deep in the end zone. That's what we want to see. He's 6'7". You know, Ben throws it up, way up there where nobody else can get it. He goes up to get it. So the offense is looking pretty good, man. In 2 weeks, what I'm seeing is that these guys, if they can stay consistent, we may cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams. Eli Rogers was kind of quiet today, and I say today, guys, because obviously, you know, I'm recording this after the game, so you know, of course, you guys won't see it until Tuesday. But you know, he wasn't really a factor that much. But then again, like I said, man, I think the weather had a lot to do with what happened in that game. Outside of that, guys, I don't think there's anything else to touch on. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that was of importance. Interceptions. Our guys got to hold on to the ball, man, because Ross Cockrell had an opportunity a couple times to get a pick. Jarvis Jones had an interception thrown right to him. I mean, right to him. And he drops it. I mean, come on, guys. We got to get our hands on the ball. I know these guys play defense, but we need to get some of those takeaways. We definitely need to get that happening. And like I said, man, I want to see the sacks improve as well. But I don't have much to talk about, guys. I think, you know, it was a gritty type of game that we were able to win. Antonio Brown had a bad drop in the game, but it happens to everybody, even the best guys. But, you know, from what I'm seeing, I really like the pace in which we're playing. The only thing I don't like, I will say this, Todd Haley right now, I still feel like sometimes we're a little too conservative. We don't throw plays at guys that they're not expecting. And the Bengals, if you notice, a couple of the plays that they threw at us was perfect. You know, it was a great time to call the screen, or it was a great time to call a draw on a 3rd and 1 or what have you. And I don't see that out of Todd Haley so far. You know, it's almost like the plays that are working for us are just normal plays. But situational plays, I'm not seeing things that I can look back and say that was a great play or a great play call. So I want to see more of that happen. All right, but that's about all I got for you guys. I mean, I'm excited. I'm happy that we won the game. You know, it's always great when you get a win, and there was minimal mistakes out there, so I could be cool with that. All right, so outside of that, guys, let's get ready for Philadelphia next week. I'll be back at you guys the following Tuesday to give you my thoughts, things of that nature. So, all right, guys, let's get ready. Hopefully, we'll come back and we'll have another victory. All right, guys, until next time, definitely leave your thoughts, leave your comments, and stay tuned for a few short messages. Peace.
Hold up. Wait. Before you go, hit that sub box. Make sure you subscribe. Come back around for more content. And don't forget to leave your thoughts, leave your comments, and I promise it'll never hurt you to hit that like button. Another announcement real quick, guys. Sim Standard Radio has now moved here to YouTube via Google Hangout. Come check us out right here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. That's all I got for you. Okay, bye. Go ahead. Get out of here.